Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of the Bull Session podcast.
Welcome.
Yes. Honestly, I didn't think we'd get 5 episodes, but here we are. Which I mean, it ain't much, but there's more on the way. Anyways, I'm gonna light my cigarette, because I'm still addicted to cigarettes, even though they're fucking disgusting. And I can't fucking breathe when I wake up, so don't fucking smoke cigarettes if you don't smoke cigarettes.
But if you do, light that bitch up, because you're already addicted.
Exactly. And you're gonna die anyways.
Yeah, it's going downhill from there anyway. Shit.
Exactly. You gonna get cancer someday? Fucking shit.
Your dick will get hard.
Dude, I was at work the other day. And Sierra, the chick I work with, you know her.
Yeah.
We were all joking around, and a lot of people smoke cigarettes there, you know. And because it's a fucking fast food place, like they don't give a shit about their lives. Anyways, I'm talking about how oh yeah, I can't wait till I get cancer. I smoke every day. I smoke 10 cigarettes a day, right? And Sierra's like, it's not guaranteed that you're gonna get cancer from smoking cigarettes. I'm like, bitch, I will believe that I was sold a false bill of goods if I don't get fucking cancer. Do you know how many fucking cigarettes I've smoked? If I don't get cancer, I've been ripped off. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they're meant to give you cancer.
Oh, it's a
Unless
side
they
effect.
are.
It's a side effect.
Yeah. Do you feel that same way about alcohol? You're like, God damn it, I don't have liver disease.
No, I'm not as big as an alcoholic as I am a smoker. I smoke weed more than I drink. But I do drink a lot. At least recently. Within the last 2 years. But I don't know. Anyways, I'm a fairly skeptical guy. I run an atheist YouTube channel. I debunk a lot of shit. I don't believe in ghosts. I like to have a logical mind. That being said, I have a ghost story. And I know I just said I don't believe in ghosts, and I don't. Yet I still have a ghost story, and I call it a ghost story because I can't explain it, and that's the only thing that comes close to explaining it, although I still don't believe in ghosts. I'm still highly skeptical of them. It's just there's this one thing in my life that I can't fucking explain. Anyways, it goes something like this. I was at my friend Jaime's house, and he'd been telling me for years, we've been friends ever since we were in first grade, right? So he'd been telling me for years, yeah, my house, it's haunted. His house is an old church. There was a graveyard out in the backyard. All the tombstones have been removed and stuff, but there's still people buried underneath his house, and it was a church. He would tell me that he'd hear people singing at night in his room. He said his door would slam for no reason. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, his door would slam because someone else opened up another door in the house and it caused a vortex. Or, he opened up a window or some bullshit like that. No. His room didn't have windows. It was in the middle of the house. There was no way a fucking vortex could slam the door. Anyways, he'd be telling me this shit. We'd be playing video games. He tells me some ghost stories that have happened to him because I'm honestly interested, even though I'm skeptical. I have an interest in ghosts. They're kind of interesting in a eerie, creepy kind of way, you know? And then, as we're playing video games, he's finished telling me these shit, 3 minutes ago. We're done telling the ghost stories, now we're just playing video games. I look over, and the door starts to move, and then it fucking slams shut. Now, that door had my shoes in front of it, because I had taken my shoes off. Yet it still slammed shut. And that's the only thing I can't fucking explain. And I don't know what the fuck happened.
What do you mean, I don't believe in ghosts? I would immediately be like, oh, okay, they're real.
I didn't see a fucking ghost slam it. I just seen a door slam for no fucking reason.
Ghosts can turn invisible. Have you not seen Danny Phantom?
Right.
Send the lyrics.
It's just it's a wacky thing to believe, you know? It's like aliens. Although I think aliens are real, I just don't think they visited Earth.
You think aliens are real, but not ghosts?
I think aliens is a much more logical belief to hold. I think aliens are real. They have to exist if we fucking exist. The universe is infinite. We exist in it. There must be other life forms out there, you know what I'm saying?
No, we're the only one.
Yeah, right. That's the ego of man. As far as them visiting us, I'm doubtful of that, although it could have happened. I don't fucking know. I don't hold all the answers.
It could have happened before we even evolved.
They could have seeded our evolution.
Yeah,
Who
they
fucking knows?
came in an ocean and then boom, you got us. And dogs also.
Also, I'd like to talk about, so this video I made recently, which I'll leave a link in the description. Right now it's called Response to Atheist Love Censorship. It's a Brett Keane response video, because Brett Keane seems to think atheists love censorship. I don't think atheists love anything. I think atheists don't believe in God. Anyways, I made a video criticizing him, where I responded to his video, and that video was taken down for cyberbullying. Now, keep in mind, this is a Brett Keane video. Now, you all know who Brett Keane is, right? At least most of you do. He's notorious for flagging videos for false fucking reasons. And if you're criticizing someone, that isn't cyberbullying. That's different. I haven't made a Brett Keane video in like 3 years. If I was making a Brett Keane video every day, maybe he'd have a fucking case, but he doesn't.
That would be like harassment.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But
I'm
doesn't
not.
he do that though?
Yes, he makes a fucking video about the amazing atheist or the drunken peasants every fucking day. If not every day, every 2 fucking days. I'm telling you, go on his channel right now. You'll see amazing atheists. Why? Because he's got nothing better to talk about than the fucking past, because he's a fucking washed up old fucking cunt. Anyways, I think he fucking flagged the video. I think he got it taken down. It's up now. So the link is in the description. If you want to go download that fucking video, post it on your channel, whatever the fuck you want to do with it, go ahead and fucking do that. Because if it's all over fucking YouTube and other channels have it, then Brett can't say fucking dick about it. And if you put your shit out onto the net, including this podcast, including the videos I make, including what Jeremiah says, especially what Jeremiah says, feel free to criticize that.
I was with you. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Because we're putting ourselves onto the internet. Like, we're not free from criticism, and neither should Brett be. All because he gets his feelings hurt doesn't mean he should be able to take down a fucking video. And that's all I have to say about that. And the link is in the description if you fucking care. Anyways, you have, we'll wait a minute to talk about that. I just want to say, Pac-Man has turned 40 years old. Yeah, there's not much to say about that, but Pac-Man's old as shit. I love that fucking game. I've played so much fucking Pac-Man.
I did not play
it's
a lot of it.
the only game me and my grandpa will play together.
Aww.
Yeah, it's the only game he likes.
Grandpa's a gamer. It's awesome.
Yeah, for fucking Pac-Man. Also, a Mafia 2 Definitive Edition came out, which I don't want that, honestly, because I own Mafia 2, and the expansion packs aren't that great. But if you don't own Mafia 2, go ahead and buy that shit, because Mafia 2, the base game, is a fucking amazing game, and it'll blow your fucking pants away. Anyways, How to Fix a Drug Scandal. Jeremiah has been watching it. I haven't fucking seen it, so I'm going to let him take the podcast, the reins of the podcast, and he's going to explain what the fuck went down in that. He's always on top of the documentaries, I've noticed. Tiger King, now it's How to Fix a Drug Scandal. Tell me about it. And I'll probably watch it, so you might be hearing more about this documentary in the future.
My fucking God. The fact that I'm talking about it is infuriating. Like, this shit infuriated me more than it entertained me.
Why did it infuriate you, though?
Okay, so, and I don't know, spoilers.
Don't even fucking mention it. There's spoilers with everything we talking about. So if you don't like spoilers, just know this is a spoiler podcast, so fuck you. Anyways.
Alright, so it covers 2 women, but one more sort than the other. This white lady named something Farak, fuck this bitch, and Indian lady named, I don't know, fuck the bitch. Anyway, like, they mentioned her name a few times.
Fuck both the bitches.
Yes.
What did they do that?
So, this Farak chick, she went to college for like chemistry and shit, and so like she got a job at a fucking drug lab.
Right.
And they are testing, I think, upwards of like thousands of like tests like a year. Like they
Tests
do
of what?
Usually drugs, so it's like, cocaine, meth, heroin.
What are they testing these drugs for?
They're testing to see if they're actually like the drugs. So when someone gets arrested for drugs, it goes to the police, and then police will give that to.
So they're the lab testing the drugs.
Yeah, it's the lab. They're the lab.
Okay, they're the lab that you see on like NCIS and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for not for like murder shit, but for drugs.
Yeah,
All
literally. Right. And yeah, so like they just like test these like for drugs, and if you do say, oh, this is absolutely cocaine, then that goes into the report system, within a case. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
and then that person gets convicted for cocaine.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Cocaine, heroin, whatever.
So it's their job to determine whether or not the drugs are what they are.
Yeah, and play a neutral party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this bitch, I don't know, there's not another lead up to it, even in the documentary. She just starts doing liquid meth. They have these things that are like the control, so it's literally like.
Okay, but is she just doing liquid meth? What about that's like infuriating?
Man.
Just keep going.
Yeah. But yeah, so she, like they have these things like in the drug labs where it's literally the drug. So like it literally was liquid meth that they would use as a control when they did a test, make sure, it was correct. Science, the scientific method, all that bullshit. And yeah, she would just like take a dropper, and she like continually did that, according to her, for like 5 years, and just kept doing that, and it got so low that like.
Was she taking the meth to like produce better results?
Oh yeah, she was like, oh, it gives me energy. It gets me focus, meth. and which.
It's meth. That's what it does.
Yes. Anyway, this dumb bitch decides, oh, meth is not enough. I'm going to also do this cocaine. Ooh, but that's not enough. I'm also going to do acid in this drug lab. Not only that, I'm also going to take the cocaine from, this little package that I just, tested. And in the lab, with my chemistry knowledge, I'm going to turn that shit to crack. And I'm going to smoke the crack in the fucking lab.
So she's just a drug addict.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to, take some acid. And then go in the bathroom and smoke crack. And then basically crawl to my desk and do a bunch of tests that I don't remember doing.
So we don't know whether or not she don't remember doing the test because she blacked out from doing so many drugs. So we don't know whether or not her reports are accurate.
We don't know if anything was accurate. Initially, they thought she only did drugs for...
Honestly, I was cool with whatever drug she was doing until you mentioned acid, because I've been on acid, and I'm just saying. And I've been on coke, too, and I'm like, I could probably do a fucking report on coke. Fuck yeah. Acid, not so much.
Literally.
Acid,
man.
You be fucked up on acid. No, there ain't no way you doing it. Acid is not it's a stimulant, it gets you awake, but it's not a stimulant in the sense that meth and cocaine's a fucking stimulant. You're not very productive when you're on acid. If you'll write a bunch of scribbles and shit.
No, that's what the crack's for.
Yeah, to even out the edge. Fuck
that shit. Man, and literally, and she got caught because she, the other people who were in the lab, they needed to look at some evidence real quick, they had to redo something. They wasn't fucking there, and then another piece of evidence wasn't there. So they were like, what the fuck? They go look around and they find the drugs in her area, in her drawer.
Yeah.
And that's how they caught her. They found I think they found drugs in her car.
Take them
my.
Home.
And this bitch.
You take them home, they need a search warrant. They find it in your drawer. They have free reign to search your car.
That's literally just the job.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This dumbass bitch. Oh my god. And I had sympathy for her because I'm like, okay, she's obviously
has
an
problem.
Addict. Yeah. So I'm like, she's an addict. She did some fucked up shit. Don't forgive it. But you know what? that wasn't like all her, I guess. You know?
She needs help. I don't think prison will help her.
Yeah, but then like her mom saying like
What else did she do?
her mom basically was like, oh, if they basically I guess like like Farak or whatever said she didn't give a fuck about like, you know, if
Is this
these
the
people
Indian
are still
lady or is this
no,
the white lady?
this is the white lady.
All right.
I said Farak. I get the confusion. But like she really did not give a fuck. She did not give a fuck
About her job?
like no.
So she was willfully like...
She was there because there were drugs and she could just very easily get them, which is like against like their like lab normal procedures. You usually have to go to someone and be like, hey, I have these drugs. Can you open the thing, whatever?
Maybe here would be my sentence if I was a judge. If she went into the job with good intentions, I wouldn't give her any prison time. I'd just send her to rehab. However, hearing that she had not the best intentions in getting this job, I would put her in a year in prison and then follow that with the rehab. What did she get?
She got 18 months. She in her career, I think, what did she
18 months
say?
in jail?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
She's done tens of thousands of tests. Tens of thousands of tests that are now you have to question it. Like
wait a minute. Now I'm thinking again, dude. Tens of thousands of people that are going to jail.
Yes.
Possibly on a falsified test.
And even if they get out of jail, you now have that on your record. It's now hard for you to get a fucking job.
I'm saying
like,
now 10 years in prison.
She got 18 motherfucking months, man. And I was just like, fam. But that wasn't even the main thing where I was like, what? Motherfuckers was trying to cover it up. Like, there were district
like
attorneys.
And shit?
District attorneys, prosecutors were... Yeah, they were, like, legit just, like...
I definitely want her to have 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
At first I was being kind of lenient, but now I'm like, nah, she definitely deserves 10 years in prison because she needs to be made an example of. No one's free from the law. It doesn't matter how rich you are, what fucking job you have.
She wasn't really rich. Yeah, she just fucking worked at the lab.
Yeah, is her job and who she's connected with. The fact that she did work for the police. And the fact that if she was fucking, if they had a stiff fucking punishment on her, they would have to look into all those fucking, of course the prosecutors are on her side. She helped convict people.
Literally. When she got arrested, they checked her car, they filed these papers under, like, random documents or some bullshit like that. Turns out it was, like, papers to, like, her therapist about how she had been doing drugs almost as soon as she started the job. And, like, they were just like, wait, did you not read those? Did you not, like, look at that and go, oh, she's been doing this, like, for more than 5 years. It's been about 10 years she's been doing this. Like, and she was... Yeah, and it's, like... It's so fucked up. Like, it was fucked up when I was like, oh, it's just her.
She does have a problem.
But also, and it was fucked up where I was like, oh, this whole, like, system. Oh, shit. Like, this people in every place was just, like...
Yeah.
Prosecutors, this judge, this motherfucker who works here, this...
Well, it's
like,
because it affects their bottom line, really. Because, like, then it calls into question all the convictions they've had. And prosecutors like having convictions underneath their belt. Judges like having convictions underneath their belt. Because it's a form of them saying, yeah, look at all this shit I won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, of course, they would try to cover this shit up. But I'm just thinking, like... This woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of me wants to be lenient to her and be like, only a year in prison and a rehab. Because she obviously has a problem. Like a drug problem. Like, it's obviously been in her life a long time. However, at the same time, she was so negligent with something that's so important. It's like, you really can't forgive that. And you do deserve a bunch of time in prison, no matter what issues you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Speaking of prison, she, like, you know, went in, like, had the 18 months, and those motherfuckers that, like, you know, she drug tested and shit, the lawyers had to fight to get them out. like it took years of them going, hey, you gotta like go over all of the tests she done and like just throw out cases, cause those aren't reliable tests that like they were sent to prison for, like, and at one point like they were.
It's still tricky for me.
Yeah.
I still have sympathy for her. She's a drug addict. She does have a problem. She probably has mental problems too.
Probably, yeah.
But then again, she does a damage to our system, and that damage is so consequential to people's lives. Man, being a judge is a pretty hard job.
Yeah, there was one dude in there who was like
Although
in jail.
you shouldn't fucking cover shit up just to fucking hold wins underneath your belt. That's fucked up. You need to be a principal judge is a fucking hard ass job.
Yeah, but and all those prosecutors and shit, they haven't been indicted. They have. It wasn't even a slap on the wrist. It was just no trouble. They just like out. One of the ladies who like fucked up, she headed the campaign against Jules.
Wait,
whatever the fuck her name. Yeah, it like said at the end of the fucking documentary.
Jeremiah is looking for a lighter. Anyway, she funded. What were we saying about the lady who funded the campaign for Jules? That
or I don't know if she funded it, but she like basically spearheaded. She was like the face or like the name or whatever the fuck behind it. They put that at the end of it, but like she was like a fucking some district attorney, something like lawyer lie. I'm not well versed in the law, but yeah, it's just like they didn't get in any trouble. There was one dude who was put in jail because of like fucking fucked up testing. He ended up being able to like get out on probation while they reassessed his case. But then when they reassessed his case, they were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna put you back in jail." They had to fight once again, and then he again was released. But like now, it's hard for him to get a fucking job. He ended up using again, and he fucking OD'd.
And now he's dead?
Yeah, like left a wife and 2 kids.
Fuck, bro.
Like, oh my god. And this is one bitch. There's another person.
There's another person we have to talk about, dude.
I don't know if she's Indian, but she's like at least Middle Eastern, something like that. But yeah, she was like well known in like the lab and like in testing because she like could do 4 times as much as like any other fucking lab tech or drug test or whatever. Find out it's because she would take like 16 packets.
This is the Indian chick, just to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Alright, so now we're talking about the Indian chick.
Yeah, she would take 16 like different like pieces of evidence like from like different cases, same cases, whatever. She would test one, and then look at the others and be like, "Yeah, it looks about right."
Yeah.
Which the cops could do that if they wanted. Like, but yeah, like she did that. So like, she would test them like or write them down as positive. So like she didn't even.
Sorry to interrupt you. So basically, what I'm getting from this documentary at this point, from these 2 ladies, I haven't heard much about the Indian lady yet, but from the first lady and what I'm hearing about this Indian lady now, this documentary calls into question the sort of the authority of the lab results, and how our system works.
Yes.
And who's in charge. And who's in charge of producing these lab results and the chemists and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, it's calling into question their authority.
Yeah. And
or at least their reliability. In some cases.
Yeah, and she's just doing this just because she's, like, wants to be the best or whatever the fuck. Like, it's not even, like... Oh, my God. She would have fucking prosecutors that would request her, which, like, apparently that's, like, super fucking unethical and not like a normal thing. Like she was emailing one prosecutor and like hitting on him, trying to fuck him. Like, this shit is it's just fucking insane. Like I'm like my neighbors probably hear me. I'm just like bitch, and I'm like fuck, and I'm like cursing and shit because this is like every new thing. I'm just like this is fucked up. Yeah. Anytime I'm like, man, America's like pretty fucked up, but I have an understanding of how fucked up.
Do you want me to like Make you feel a little better about America.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you, like, read into, like, murder shit?
Not a lot, but
sometimes?
yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Anyways, I heard about this whenever I heard about this a few years back. I'm not sure when this happened. I'm gonna make a stupid ass guess and say it was 2002, 2003. I don't know when it really was, but it was around that time era, right? Late 90s, early 2000s. At least I'm 99% confident it was. But if you're in the UK, you can correct me in the comments because you probably know what the fuck I'm talking about because it was national fucking news not that long ago. 20 years or so, right? 20 to 18. Anyways, these two little fucking boys, right? In the UK, the United Kingdom, so not the US.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God something bad didn't happen in the US for once, right? These two 10-year-old boys find this 4 or 3-year-old kid at like a mall or something. And they take him and they fucking bring him along the streets and they're pushing him and dropping him on his head and shit. Legit dropping him on his head while they're walking with him. And people would be seeing him like abusing this kid and they'd come up to me like, what the fuck's going on? And these kids would be like, oh, he's our brother. Anyways, they bring him out to yeah, and then they let him go. And they let these fucking kids go after seeing him push him around and shit, right? They take this kid to, this little boy to the train tracks. I'm not sure what fucking train tracks. They're in a city, in the UK. Fucking in the comments, they're gonna be like, is it in the UK? I've said that like 8 times now.
No, I'm just gonna correct. I was like, no, it was the train tracks. It was on the 5th.
It was the
and
trolley
Berkshire.
tracks, actually.
The carriage track.
Right. Where we eat our haggis. Anyways, they pour paint in the kid's eyes. They mutilate his genitals. They drop a stone onto his head and kill him, leaving him on the train tracks. Then they pull down his pants. Wait, no, I'm thinking of another kid for that one. Sorry. Anyways.
No, I'm thinking of another story about the kid.
Anyways, the other kid, I'll just explain that one real quick because that's probably confusing. I know I was watching a bunch of murder shit recently, but anyways, this other kid fucking drops a stone on this other kid's head and kills him like that. And then he pulls down his pants and shoves a twig up his butt. Anyways, that's not that kid. For this little kid, they pour paint in his eyes, they torture him for hours, and then they drop a stone on his head and kill him on the train track. And then a train comes by later and cuts the body in half. Now this is a 3-year-old, 4-year-old little boy. And these kids are out of prison, by the way. They didn't get that long. They were kids when they committed the crime, and they only got till they were 18. They've been out of prison for a while.
How old were they when they did this?
They were 10 years old.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
If they was like 8, no, 6, 7. Okay.
Leniency.
But, nah, by 10, you know better.
You know. Yeah, when I was 10 years old, I was playing Mafia 2 and playing, like, games where you killed people. You know what? I didn't go out and I didn't kill anybody.
Even if you bullied, you weren't killing motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. And in such a brutal way, like pouring paint into a little boy's eyes, blinding him before he dies, and then torturing him, mutilating his genitals. What? Yeah, those kids deserve to be in prison for a very long time. And it's unfortunate that they're out. And hopefully some fucking street justice happens. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it.
Man, you said, oh, America. There was a case where these two kids fucking killed... Shit. God damn it. I don't know how specifically. I think it was like fucking neighbor or something like that. Anyway, they killed him. Went to like the friend of their parents' house, and like he was like, oh shit, he like washed their clothes. He ended up going to fucking jail. They went to jail until they were 18. That dude was in jail for life because he washed like their clothes, and he basically like helped these little boys like who just killed like
get away with murder.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh shit, like they're kids, so, and he got life. They were free. I don't know if they're fucking alive, but like
that guy deserves to be in prison. Even though, like, whatever, he's like, they're kids, they don't deserve to be in prison, blah, 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 blah. I guess his heart is semi in the right place, except it's not because it's a murder case. It's in a weird, deluded place. But I guess it comes from a place of kindness, you know? However, that guy deserves to go to prison for like 5 fucking years. And those kids deserve to be in prison. How old were they? Do you remember?
Shit, I want to say like they were old enough. They were like 12.
12?
Or
They
13.
deserve to be in prison for like fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
I don't believe in life. But 30 years. If you're a kid and you murder someone, I don't think life. But I think 20, 30 years is a good amount of time.
If you're a grown ass person, absolutely. Like,
if you're a grown ass person, it depends on how you killed them. Depends on how brutally they were killed. The passion involved. So, like, is it a cold murder? Is it a warm murder? Warm murder.
oh, I thought that was a real thing that I just didn't know. I was like, oh, there's war murders?
Sort of, yeah. Like a crime of passion. A hot murder, like emotion. You know what I'm saying?
You just sound like a TV exec. No, I need more emotion.
No, I'm saying, like, you ever watch The Shawshank Redemption?
No.
Alright, so Andy Dufresne, right? He didn't kill, he's innocent. Mm-hmm. Spoilers, it's a fucking 20-year-old movie. It's older than 20 years now. Goddamn, it was made in the 90s. Jesus Christ, almost 30 years old. Watch the movie, it's great. Andy Dufresne gets convicted of a murder he didn't commit. His wife and his wife's lover, she was fucking around on him, get shot to death. And Andy happened to own the same fucking gun. And Andy was there that night, outside, while his wife is getting banged out by this guy, right? Being like, he's drinking, he's upset, he has the gun. He decides to get back in his car, and he drives, and he throws the gun out into a lake or a river. I don't really remember. That gun's on the bottom of the river. He testifies this in court. They don't believe him. They convict him of murder, because it's the same gun that killed these people. Anyways, later in the movie, you find out that he's telling the truth because another inmate verifies that he met another inmate that told him that story. Like, he like got ghost-faced whenever Andy told him why he was in prison, because he was like, another inmate told me he committed that murder, and he told me that basically he described Andy Dufresne, like what his job was and everything. He's like, that's you. And then that kid gets murdered because of a fucked up system, because no one wants to overturn Andy's conviction. And the warden is money laundering and shit in the prison. And Andy's a bookkeeper. He's an accountant. So he becomes the warden's accountant. So if he's released, the warden is afraid maybe he'll go to prison. Anyways, Andy escapes and all that. Where was I going with this shit? What were we talking about? I just started explaining this Shawshank Redemption.
Cold and warm.
Oh,
murders.
yeah. Anyways, the whole point of me explaining the plot of the Shawshank Redemption, how great of a fucking movie it is, which I could go on. Let's just say the warden kills himself because Andy gets out of prison and fucking is like, you know, I wasn't gonna rat on you before, but now since you fucking kept me in a fucking cage, even though I'm innocent, and you knew I was innocent at that point, and you had no reason to keep me in that cage because I told you I wasn't gonna rat on you. Now I'm gonna rat on you and I'm gonna steal all that money that you laundered.
Did that really happen?
No, it's a fake movie, but it's a Stephen King novel.
No, I mean, like, did that happen in the movie?
Yeah, he, like, legit stole all the warden's money, and then the warden killed himself because the cops were coming to arrest him and shit for money laundering, and Andy's out in Mexico being rich and shit. Oh, yeah. Good movie. Anyways, the whole point of that shit is that you come home and you see that your wife is fucking another guy, and you kill them. That's a crime of passion, and that, in my view, shouldn't be looked as strictly upon as a crime that's cold and calculated, something that you planned over time and didn't have much emotion or thought about, you know what I'm saying? Or did have a lot of thought about, but not much emotion about, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, like, someone that stalks someone for weeks on it just to kill them, that is a top-rate, cold-blooded killer, and that should be put in prison for life, in my opinion. someone that walks on his wife or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he kills that person. Or let's say it's like a bar fight or something and you accidentally kill that person. I think that's a little different. So I don't think that it should be as punished as harshly as something that's cold and calculated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just fair.
Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of memes recently. I own a dog. His name's Data. He's my baby. But apparently black people don't fuck with kissing their dogs on the mouth. Because I kiss my dog on the mouth all the time.
Yeah, he like asked me like, yeah, apparently like I saw this meme, black people don't like, or black people don't have them kiss dogs on the mouth, and I'm like, yeah, do you? Like it's so weird to I'm black, but it was like so weird. Because I was like, that's fucking gross. I'm like, honest opinion, like that's a dog's mouth.
Where would you let him lick you?
Like he can like make my face, my hand, like not in around any fucking orifices.
But
like,
he my baby. I'm not gonna let him lick in my mouth. He ain't gonna French kiss me, but he can lick my mouth. And if my mouth happens to open, which it has, and the dog tongue is slid in there, like, I'm just saying, it happens to happen. But he my baby, and he can kiss me wherever he want to kiss me. Except for my penis, it's a little weird.
or your butt.
Or my butt, that's also a little weird. Although, no, I'm just saying although, because me and Amber, we used to take showers together and shit, and like, we would get out, and then Data he'd be in the room with us, and he'd be like licking her butt, and, like on accident, like she'd be stepping out, and then he'd just get up and be like thirsty or whatever for being in that hot room, and he'd like lick her butt a little bit, not like sexually or, he's a dog.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
But yeah, don't let your dogs lick your mouth. You lick your mouth. You basically are French kissing a dog.
What do you mean?
If he licks your mouth, like you not like just randomly like lick your lip,
No, not while he's licking me.
I'm just saying even after, like
Nah,
spit's still there.
I like wipe it off.
Just like wiping off a fucking apple.
Yeah.
It's not washing it.
No, I wipe off my lips. But like, no, I have had a dog tongue slid in my mouth. One time when I was like 8, my grandparents owned boxers. I don't know for a long time. Anyways, they great ass dogs, right? But Buddy, he got up on top of me. They powerful ass dogs too, and I'm an 8-year-old boy. He get up on top of me. He start licking me in the mouth and shit. He just loved licking people in the mouth. He loved pinning people and licking them in the mouth. That's what he did to all the grandkids and shit.
That's
and
some
I
Me
was
Too
one
shit.
of his fucking victims, bro. He literally pinned me down and licked me in the mouth. People had to come in the room and get him off me. But yeah, he was a good boy though. So tonight was a weird night. So I pull up to Jeremiah's house and there's this guy wheeling a fucking kid's bike. I'm telling you, like a 4-year-old's bike. This man's like 30 years old, looks like he's addicted to crack or meth or some shit. And then he's got like a trumpet or some shit in his a trophy or some golden shit in his fucking hand.
Right? He had a Grammy.
Something like that, about the size of a Grammy, but looked like a trumpet.
It's like SoundCloud rapper, first one to make it.
I don't know what the fuck it was. Anyways, this guy's looking around. I park and he's like, I got my music blaring, and he starts smiling because he's like, oh, it ain't a cop, I'm guessing. This is what I'm thinking he's thinking, right? I tend to think like a criminal because I smoke pot. Like, that makes fucking sense. Anyways,
I mean, you are a criminal if you smoke pot. Smoke that paw.
Used to be.
You smoke paw?
Where the fuck's my lighter, by the way? Or your lighter, but...
I was like, you're holding it. Yeah.
Anyways, he starts wheeling his shit up the street, and I get out of my car and I tell him, because the police station's up where he's fucking walking. He's walking straight towards the fucking police station with a stolen bike and a stolen fucking golden thing that looks like an instrument, right? So I actually tell him, hey, I wouldn't head up that way. I'd head that way, and I point the other way. And then he likes looking all nervous and shit, so I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna tell on you. And then he starts walking on his fucking merry way. I see him stop, like, literally, like, the house up, so I'm like, oh, that's why he was walking that way. Leaves the bike on the sidewalk. I noticed that later, because me and Jeremiah were going out to my car to get cigarettes, before the podcast. But, anyways, he fucking, is just waiting there with his fucking flashlight, phone in hand shit, you know what I'm saying? And he's, like, waiting at the door, knocking on it a bunch and shit. Probably trying to score some meth or some shit. I don't know what's going on. It's just common around our area for shit like that to go down.
Wait, so he was going one way, and you were like, hey, go the opposite way, and he did that, and then he was just at a house?
No, he kept going the way he was going.
Oh.
But it was legit one house up.
Okay.
And then that's where the meth house was, I'm assuming. Because it's, like, common for people to, like, get goods or whatever the fuck, and then they bring it to meth houses, and then meth houses can usually pawn it off to someone that they know.
Yeah.
We live in a bad county.
I guess.
In terms of, like, not being Chicago, we live in a bad county.
Not being fucking St. Louis and
Yeah.
Bronx
Exactly.
and shit.
Anyways, this guy's probably trying to peddle this fucking kid's bike off for some meth. I don't think anything of it. I go in here, we go get cigarettes, blah, 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 blah. We come back, right? I hear a man on the phone with what sounds like he's on the phone with the police. He's describing shit in detail. Oh, this man ran 30 feet that way, and then he disappeared in the... Shit like that, right? Being very precise. I just think, oh, something tells me this man's on the phone with the police. This man goes inside to his apartment or whatever after being outside, after calling what I think is the police, and I tell Jeremiah that. And I'm like, I wonder if it was that same dude I saw, right? And I said, it's a weird night tonight, isn't it? And legit after that, what happened, Jeremiah?
I just, we're just chilling, I just hear...
Legit after I say it's a weird night tonight.
I hear a very familiar sound.
Because Jeremiah's from Chicago.
I just hear a boop, 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 and I'm just like... I heard the first one, I'm like, is that? And I heard more, I'm like, oh.
I heard the first one too, and then there was a pause. So that made me think, oh, it's just a firework, and it's getting close to the 4th of July. And then there was 4 more.
Yep.
And they got closer and closer together in terms of when they went off.
Yeah. I assumed
Too close for fireworks.
Yeah. I assumed the position. I was like, okay, I'm going to get down below the windows. I'm used to doing that on New Year's.
Yeah. Apparently he told me that was the thing. I'm just like, no, people do fireworks around here on New Year's.
Yeah, I found that out. It was weird. But, yeah, I was like, damn. Didn't know. It was so familiar. It was something weird. It brought me back to childhood.
Although we've had a few shootings in the past few years.
Yeah.
More than normal.
I guess. I don't know. They seemed
For me living here all my life, it's more than normal, is what I would say. Although, I don't know the statistics, so I can't be sure, but in terms of what I've heard in my life, it's more than normal. But, again, I'm not sure. But yeah, just weird shit. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on to the videos?
Shit. Fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah, he's a rat, dude.
Yeah, he said he was a rat, very proudly.
Like, I don't see how you can be proud of that. Like, Henry Hill, you ever watch Goodfellas? Again, another movie I could just explain on and on about.
Yeah.
Which I won't do. But, Henry Hill was a rat. And he told everybody he was a rat. He was ashamed he was a rat. It killed him inside, and you could tell. And that's how Tekashi 69 should be.
Nah, because, those people that he told on fucked his baby mama,
that's the
kidnapped
life
him,
that's the life
tried to
you
kill
were
him.
living.
Yeah.
Henry Hill was, Jimmy Burke tried to kill Henry Hill. Henry Hill still was ashamed of ratting. Like, all these people were out to get Henry Hill, because and they also thought he was gonna rat, that's why they were out to get him. And then he did rat, so now they're more out to get him, right? Anyways, he died of natural causes. But I'm just saying, he was still ashamed of being a rat. Fuck
Yeah.
Tekashi 69. That's the life he chose to live, and those are the consequences you gotta pay. Ratting is a bullshit ass move.
Especially when you were like, "Hey yo, can you go kill that dude?"
Yeah.
And then in the court, you're like, "He went to go kill that dude." It's like, what?
No shit.
Well, why did he go
Told
do
him.
that? I mean, I told him, but like he
Yeah.
went to go do it. So
Yeah, that guy's fucked up.
can I get 2 more years off?
What the fuck, bro?
He only spent a year.
He's like free now, right?
Oh yeah, he's free. He's on house arrest, basically, and he's like moved like probably 5 fucking times already because people keep finding out where he lives.
Hopefully someone pops him.
I don't know.
If I say that, is that illegal?
I don't know. I'm gonna say, if he gets popped, I don't like. It's not like surprising.
If he is
But-
popped, it's not surprising. Hopefully it happens. Now, I ain't gonna do it, and I'm not saying that you should go do it. I'm just saying hopefully maybe like a rock falls from space and hits him in the face. Or maybe a bullet somehow magically appears in front of his head.
Yeah, bullet just curves like once.
Yeah,
You know.
I don't know. Some miraculous way he ends up dead. Anyways, on to the videos. And we actually don't have much time for videos today. We got about 20 more minutes on this podcast, a little less than that. Here we go. To start out with these videos, we got Bill Clinton lie. Smoked marijuana but didn't inhale. And Jeremiah, would you like to smoke this hitter?
Sure. Thank you.
Are you gonna inhale it?
I mean, I'm gonna puff it,
Are you gonna inhale it?
inhale it.
Are you gonna?
Why would I do that? That's how you get high.
Oh my.
Oh, I see what you do. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Took me a bit. I probably have inhaled a little bit ago.
Yeah, he's a little high already. Why would you inhale it? Damn, today's conversation was great, dude. We ain't even gonna get through all these videos. We have to save some for next time. Now I'm going to inhale my hitter, and then we will watch this video.
When I was in England, I experimented with marijuana a time. When I was in England, I experimented with marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it, and didn't inhale, and never tried it again, and didn't inhale.
You inhaled and you loved it, and you know that.
It looks like he just finished inhaling.
It does. Bill Clinton looks like a stoner, to be honest with you.
Plays the fucking saxophone, cheats on his wife. Like, yeah.
Hello, everybody. I have an announcement.
Okay, but yeah, Bill Clinton looks like the quintessential fucking stoner. You can't fool me on that shit, and he sounds like it too. He legit sounds like, "Hey man, I'm Bill Clinton. I got head in the fucking Oval Office.
Smell my finger.
Look at that pig, man. We could have that pig in our bellies in like 3 minutes, man." Yeah, Bill Clinton's a stoner, and you cannot fool me.
It looks like he just fucking hides in the bathroom so Hillary doesn't catch him smoking. He's just in the tub,
No,
blowing
he's
into
just
the
on
vents.
on the roof with Willie. Fucking Anyways, Joe Rogan is moving to Spotify. This might be the last video we play, or we might have time for one more. But I do have quite a bit to say about this shit. And I have mixed feelings, as you'll be surprised to hear, Jeremiah. Because earlier I was very much against this. Now I have mixed feelings.
Hello, everybody. I have an announcement. The podcast is moving to Spotify. I signed a multi-year licensing agreement with Spotify that will start on September
Also, a $100 million deal.
1st. Starting on September 1st, the entire JRE library will be available on Spotify as well as all the other platforms. Then somewhere around the end of the year, it will become exclusive to Spotify, including the video version of the podcast. It will be the exact same show. I am not going to be an employee of Spotify. We're going to be working with the same crew doing the exact same show. The only difference will be it will now be available on the largest audio platform in the world. Nothing else will change. It will be free. It will be free to you. You just have to go to Spotify to get it. We're very excited to begin this new chapter of the JRE, and I hope you're there when we cross over. Thanks.
So let's talk about your thoughts first, and then we'll get into my thoughts, because I have quite a bit.
Yeah, okay, my thoughts are like, I don't know. Like, I have...
And, also, I'd like to mention, me and Jeremiah, and hopefully you, because it's a great podcast, and him going to Spotify, I won't take that away from him. He does have an amazing-ass podcast, right?
Yeah.
Endless hours of entertainment for me, right? For years at this point. I've watched this podcast for almost 3 years, right? In like a month, it'll probably be 3 years. Or it might be 3 years right now. But, anyways, we both love this fucking podcast, and we both love what Joe Rogan has created. So that's why we're talking about this, and that's why I have such feelings about him moving to another platform. Anyways, Jeremiah, your thoughts?
I don't know. It's not many thoughts because I already have Spotify. So I was just like, oh, I just have to click on that icon and not YouTube. But now I'm thinking about it, like the reason, like one of the main reasons I'll watch Joe Rogan is because I see it on my feed.
Yeah.
But if I did have to go and specifically be like, oh, I want to like watch Joe Rogan, Spotify doesn't do that.
That's another thing I saw. Like, I'm not very sure, because I don't watch Howard Stern. I used to watch Howard Stern with my dad because he watched Howard Stern. Anyways, I heard that Howard Stern made a deal with some fucking radio shit, right?
Yeah.
And they put him on a different station, and then he pretty much became obscure. That shit might happen to Joe Rogan because he's on another platform. I've been seeing that circulate. That's a rumor that, or not a rumor, but a speculation that's going around that might happen. A prediction. I could see it going that way.
No, that
Which
sucks.
goes into my thoughts. I dislike the video, even though I have mixed feelings. But I wish he would just stay on YouTube and keep doing what he's doing because I like watching him on YouTube. I like watching the video, which I'm not sure if the video would be a part of Spotify. I've never seen a video on Spotify, except for the ads.
Yeah.
But here's why I have mixed feelings. Let's say he is still popular on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the video is a part of it. Let's say they add a comment section with some likes and dislikes. Let's say Spotify becomes a competitor to YouTube. I'm all for it.
Shit. Like he's spearheading it and
Yes,
then like...
I'm all for it.
Oh shit.
And also, their stocks have rose. They made $5 billion in 2 days. Spotify did, just for signing a $100 million deal with Joe Rogan. Their company increased.
I gotta get on stocks. Shit.
They're, I believe they were worth 101 a few days ago.
Yeah.
They're worth 190 something right now.
God damn.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whoo!
Let's say it's an alternative YouTube platform, right? I'm all for that, and I will be a creator on that shit. I will fucking make an account, do everything I gotta do, cause fuck YouTube. We need a free speech fucking platform that doesn't take videos down for stupid fucking silly reasons and doesn't... Like, YouTube has mismanaged their platform site for years. They're always doing shit that doesn't, like... They move the comments for no fucking reason. They'd be doing stupid... No, I'm just saying, they'd be doing stupid shit like that for years, dude. You know what I'm saying?
That really bothered you.
But they had fucking Google Plus and fucking YouTube branched together because they wanted to make Google Plus a fucking big-ass social media site, but everybody fucking hated Google Plus, but everybody had Google Plus because they made it part of YouTube. Fuck them. Fuck YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them.
Man, the fucking underdog just came back and was like, nah.
Man, so part of me hopes Joe Rogan succeeds, but part of me thinks he's gonna go into obscurity. Either way, that being said, it's an end of an era. So yeah.
Absolutely, man.
How much time we got? We got 55 minutes. Time for one more video. Let's play...
One more thing.
Let's play pot...
Let's go back to Norm Kemp, Brad Lamb, and Doc... Let's go back to Norm...
Alright, this is Nancy Grace, hashtag pots and blend.
Kemp, Brad Lamb, and Dr. Drew Pinsky. Dr. Drew, I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, the story I agree with Norm, actually, believe it or not.
Okay, so this fucking cut out a large part of this video, which kind of pisses me off, but I'll just explain what had fucking happened. They're talking about someone who murdered his family, I believe, and he was found to have marijuana in his system and not opioids in his system, but he was an opioid addict who was going through withdrawal, so he took marijuana to help him with the withdrawal. But he ended up killing his family in a fit of rage or some shit. And Nancy Grace obviously blames pot. And the man wearing the fucking tie that's not Dr. Drew disagrees with Nancy. They get into a little argument. And then Nancy goes to Dr. Drew to reaffirm her opinion, because Dr. Drew is on Nancy Grace's show. And then Dr. Drew disagrees with Nancy, and this is what happens.
Story you dragged out about the man eating the marijuana cookie could just as easily be a drug withdrawal syndrome from the prescription drugs he was taking. In fact, the cannabis may have just been incidental. Now, I'm not saying cannabis is not associated with psychotic episodes. I'm not saying that the forensic pathologist is not right. There are human consequences from this drug, but that has nothing to do with the argument about whether
Dr.
it should
Drew.
be legal or illegal. It's
Drew.
just the facts about
Dr.
the
Drew.
relationship with the drug.
Dr. Drew.
Nancy.
I really appreciate Dr. Drew on call. I do. I'm a big fan. But you're in our house now. All right? So you can't just throw out a fact
You don't
like...
get to talk.
So she's basically like, you can't disagree with me on my show.
We think one way around these parts,
Right.
stranger.
So you better slow your roll.
Okay, Norm, just try to get it out of your system so I can address Drew on this. Dr. Drew, you can't just throw out a...
Norm, you can't talk either. I'm talking to Dr. Drew right now. We don't need to hear your disagreements either.
Shut the fuck up when grown people talk.
I'm Nancy Grace. There are dead babies.
fact unless you have backup for it. Now, do you have any evidence that this man that just guns down his wife in front of his children was having withdrawal from some other drug?
In the police report that you say is the factual matter that you've taken off the internet, there were empty pill bottles found in his room. And the fact is, he may have, there's a common thing right now is that people are being dismissed from their medical care because they get carried away with their opiates and their benzodiazepines. They go into withdrawal, and in fact, they use pot to try to deal with the withdrawal from the prescription meds.
To Justin Fryman, let's try to get the facts here, because there's an empty pill bottle in his room does not mean that he killed her. I want to see Dr. Drew, please, because he's having a medical...
Damn, bitch, calm down.
Right, and all she just said, she kind of cut off whatever the fuck she was saying, but basically what I think she was saying is, all because he had an empty pill bottle in his room doesn't mean that those drugs caused him to kill his wife. Well, the same fucking argument could be said about him eating the pot, right? All because he ate pot doesn't mean that's why he killed his fucking wife. Maybe he killed his wife because she's a bitch. I'm just fucking joking.
Luke, they think one way around them parts.
And it's that pot is bad.
Withdrawal from drugs. All right, nothing in this police report that I also have says that he was coming down from withdrawal. Nothing. You, Dr. Drew,
why do they mention the empty bottles then, Nancy? As evidence. The empty bottles are presented as evidence. Why do they mention that then if it has nothing to do with the story?
Because if you're familiar with police reports, and especially in homicide cases, they write down every single thing that they can that may be involved in the case. In this case, there's nothing to suggest that the pill bottles had anything to do with this.
Dr. Drew's just like, this bitch is dumb.
Yeah, dude.
God damn.
And who the fuck are you to say those pill bottles didn't have it? Obviously, they wrote it down for a reason. Like, it's not on there for no reason. It might have something to do with the case at hand. That's why they wrote it down. They write every little thing that they see that might have to do with the case down because, shocker, it might have something to do with the case.
She doing detective work and shit. It's like, nah.
She used to be a prosecutor or some shit. She probably locked up a bunch of innocent people.
Jesus,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yep.
Ugh.
Can't believe it.
Turns my stomach. God damn it.
For real though, fuck Nancy Grace. Stupid cunt. If you like anything else you want to say? We got 3 minutes.
God damn. I feel like all prosecutors are horrible.
Pretty much.
Oh man, yeah. Just this is a mess. Just everything is just a mess. Like, God.
At least our judicial system.
Yeah.
But if you like the video or the podcast, leave a like, comment what you thought about whatever the fuck we talked about. If you watched this far, subscribe to my channel for more podcasts. And we'll see you on the next Bull Session podcast. If we make another one, which we will. Probably in a week, 2 weeks' time. Yeah, catch y'all later.
BS out.
Bye.